Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 194, and today we're going to be doing battle with the Arclight dragons. And so it's very important, as you all know, to pay the pay-to-win price. That's the way most people actually come out here and win their games, right? It has nothing to do with skill. It's all about paying as much money as you can to get as many advantages as you can, and that's what we call the pay-to-win price. And so typically we just run around and about prismatics, it's gotten us pretty far. We get to masters every season and such, but sometimes you just have to go and look towards the skins. And so in this set, Vayne has an Arclight skin coming out of the event pass, and then they also gave Shyvana an Arclight skin as well. And so it's very important to come out here, try and maximize those skins to maximize our advantages in the game. And that's what we're going to be doing today. And so a lot of these synergies actually worked out much more surprisingly than I expected. The way I initially came about looking to build this deck was you take Vayne, you see how good Vayne is. The tumbles are spectacular and one of the strongest things you can be doing right now in the game, if not the most powerful thing you could be doing. And so you start looking for units that are going to be useful with Vayne, right? You want a singular unit that can be attacking over and over again. And the dragons kind of fit that build decently. Now, I will admit that Shyvana does it pretty well, right? She gets bonus attack whenever she attacks, and the Fury helps her stay alive through multiple combats. But the dragon I was initially looking at is that 8 cost one that whenever you attack, you draw a card, and if that card's a dragon, then you put it into play. And I had like the biggest hopes and dreams of this being like the sweetest meme deck that there ever was, and that you can tumble that dragon into getting multiple attacks, and then get the extra dragons out of your multiple attacks, pull Aurelion Souls out of your deck and such. But that's just way too high rolly to be realistically effective. If we wanted to try and make a highlight video of that happening, then sure. But as something to grind out daily quests with or to grind the ladder with, it's not really that effective. But I was pretty happy with a lot of the interactions that come out of this dragon package, along with some of the new improvised style cards. And so a lot of the combos that we're looking to pull off just outside of playing a bunch of tumbles are going to be our early game challengers. We have the Petricite Broadwing along with the Dragon Guard Lieutenant, and then boosting them up with the likes of the Wandering Shepherd. And so that curve of challenger 2-drop into an improvise is quite strong. And then we also get a lot of bonus value out of things like Wounded White Flame. A lot of the powerful effects that you see out of, say, Vayne Pantheon with the Wounded White Flames and the Fury units having combat tricks and a bunch of targetable abilities and the Fury and everything. They all work reasonably well with the Wounded White Flame. And so we do have this nice base, this nice core of interactions between the tumbles and the faded units and the challenge and the good combat interactivity and the way to grow our units. And then the other kind of things that we're looking for are that kind of standard question we have to ask ourselves in all these formats. How do we either overwhelm, rally, or attack twice? And so just the attacking twice with this deck doesn't really feel like enough. Whenever I say attack twice, I'm usually talking about rallies and having a really big board and getting rallies through. But with this deck, we have the option to pass out the overwhelm with the Dragon's Clutch. The Dragon's Clutch is the kind of the glue that ties everything together in this one, if you will. As we're able to now give our dragons Overwhelm, the Overwhelm single attacks can actually punch through for damage. And then when we're punching through those single attacks with Overwhelm, we have the means to actually come in and close out the game. And so I think the Dragon's Clutch, it's quite strong. It doesn't get too much play, but the card advantage you get out of this and then the Overwhelm that you can give to all of your dragons is quite strong, and what we're going to be looking to take advantage of today. And so this is the deck. That's what we'll be doing battle with. But as we mentioned, with the pay-to-win price, we must go. Look at this. We've already got the Arclight Vayne upgraded and ready to go. We got to just pick up this Arclight Shyvana, and then things will be good. Let me get this sound fixed real quick, and then things will definitely be good. And okay, that's been done. Let's head on into battle. And so before the battles begin, I will make note, I will go on a minor rant, if you will. I'm really not excited about the current format, and it doesn't have anything to do with the cards or the gameplay in general. I think Vayne is overpowered and will be nerfed, but isn't oppressive. I don't think Seraphine is that bad. I don't hate the RNG that you get from the Seraphine and the Manifest a 5-cost spell guy and everything. My problem with the current format is that you don't know how long a game is going to take, right? There's I know social contract isn't the right word, but you kind of have like a social contract with these games in terms of how long something is going to take, right? If you want to play a game of teamfight tactics, you know it's going to take 30 to 40 minutes. If you don't have that long, you can play a game of hyper roll, which should take you about 15 to 20. If you're looking to play a match of Magic Online, you know that it has the chess clock and you'll never be invested for longer than an hour. If you're playing even something like Gauntlet, right, your opponent has the round timer before they start getting busted by their round time and how quickly things go. But that stuff doesn't exist in Constructed, or if it does, I'm at least not aware of it. And so you kind of like run into this spot to where, you know, an average game of Runeterra takes about 8 to 10 minutes, right? If we're playing a standard deck, if we're not playing some like ultra grindy Shadow Isles deck, sure, those will take longer. But if you're playing anything from like Annie Gen up through things like Scouts or the deck we're playing here today, you typically expect those games to take, you know, 5, 8, 10 minutes. You could probably call 8 minutes about the average that you're going to see. But the problem that you run into with these Seraphine decks now is just so much manifest and so much decision making and so much sitting around that pushes the timer way up, right? I look for the official counts on these. You can't get the official timers because Riot doesn't give you the game length, but you know, it's well over 10 minutes what it takes for each of these Seraphine matches. And so I feel like you're kind of being held hostage a little bit in that it's like you go to queue up, you know how much time you have. You queue into Seraphine, and then you just have to say, fuck, do I really want to deal with this? Do I have the time to deal with this? Do I want to spend 15 to 18 minutes playing against this dumb deck, or do I just want to move on? And that's ultimately the thing that frustrates me quite a bit. I've been trying to decide how I want to deal with this because my current stance is I just don't want to play against it. I'm a content creator that doesn't do this for a living. I don't have to give a fuck about this game. I can just leave, and my financial situation won't be harmed in any way. And so my current stance is I just don't really want to play against Seraphine, and so I just choose to concede. Now, I feel like that doesn't really provide much value to my viewers. I feel like that's it's not necessarily a cop-out, but if you're wanting to get, you know, a broad stroke sense of the meta or how the gameplay goes with these videos, just cutting out 25% of the meta doesn't really help you, and it doesn't help in terms of getting a good feel for how good these decks actually are and their strengths and their weaknesses. And so I kind of like battle with how I want to deal with this meta. I feel like if I can just like power through for another week or two, the play rate on this deck will drop down enough to where it's not as oppressive. But it's really unfortunate now that you just like 25% of the time fall into these 15 to 20 minute matches. Now, if that's what Riot really expects and wants out of the game, then sure, that's fine. I can make some decisions out of that. But it feels like for the most part, that kind of 7 to 10 minute space is what is expected out of a game. That gets us with these videos, you know, pretty close to an hour in 8 games. Sometimes it goes over, sometimes it goes under. But in general, we typically get about 5 to 10 minutes of chit chat and then 8 games in around an hour. But that has just been completely impossible with the release of this set, and it's all baked into the concept of Seraphine. And so I don't have the answer. It's not something that is built into the power level of the cards. It's built into the mechanics of the game. And so I don't know if there's ever going to be an answer, if I just need to suck it up and get over it, or what the deal is. I don't have the exact answers, but we'll play against Seraphine once today, and then if we play against it a second time, we'll concede every time after that. I feel like that's probably the safest route that we can take, to where you still get a little bit of the flavor that's happening, but I don't have to either just play 4 games, or I don't have to just concede every time against it. But that's where I stand. I'm hoping that playing in the normals, it doesn't show up nearly as much. Just running through Diamond right now is incredibly oppressive in terms of just having to play against a bunch of Seraphine, and I really just don't get any enjoyment out of it. And so, if you're not getting enjoyment out of the game, then you're not doing it right. And so, we'll see. I feel like once the shine of the new set falls off a little bit, then the play rate will fall down. It's not a deck that has a seriously ridiculous win rate. That's what Vayne has. And so I feel like once people are done brewing with the new cards and getting excited about the new cards, excuse me, it'll drop off a little bit. But all right, up against the old, the fuck? Was not expecting that. Up against the old Hecarim deck, we just have to prevent as much damage as we can. We can eventually get these Fury units on the board, and the Fury units play quite well against the Ephemerals, but we have to buy the time to actually get to that stage of the game. And so I'm going to just throw away our unit, not going to search for value. We'll get the Wounded White Flame on the board, and then we'll see if we can't get some blocks in. Pretty scary open attack this turn. We can go for the Dragon's Clutch, and if it's successful, great. That's painful. At least we still have a Z block here. This is a pretty harsh opener from the opponent. So we just have to throw something in front of Z.
The more we learn, the less we fear.
Okay. At least the highlight here is he should be pretty drained after this turn. We'll see. We're about to get boomed pretty hard. Oh, wow. He's definitely going to be drained after this turn, but our health is really suffering. What are we taking? 13? I don't think it's worth taking one less point of damage to let Zed flip. He just gets too scary, especially if he's out here adding like the Overwhelm equipment to his hand. So we'll stop right here. Scary stuff, though. Really need another 2 so we can try to get 2 units on the board. Cataclysm is useful. That'll do the things that we're looking for. So let's improvise our dragon. Definitely don't want to be putting can't block onto him. And then we'll try to Cataclysm it into Zed. Hopefully opponent's just kind of out of things to do at this point. As we just roll into the next turn and he goes, LOL, it's Hecarim. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Almost missed our attack. Would have been unfortunate. I guess we could have attacked with the Shepherd. It might have an opportunity for success here, though. Ooh, Cataclysm was huge. We get to take down Hecarim. Might have just won this one. He's going to need like a Twin Disciplines or something to protect here. If he has it all, he has it all. But this is our chance for success. Beautiful. Can't take that away from me. You got to give me you got to give me my chance for success. And so yeah, I haven't fully decided. Oh, did we just get a rage quit? Oh, we might have got the rage quit. He's not raging about Seraphine. He's raging about bust sweet dragons and cataclysms. But no, I haven't fully decided. I kind of want to like keep up with Constructed. I don't want to just abandon Constructed for Path of Champions for 2 weeks, but I definitely look to fill in with the more Path of Champions over the next week or so. And so if that interests you, great. If it doesn't, I hope there's someone else out there that you enjoy following and you're glad to spend some of your hard-earned free time on their content. We got to rage quit. That's what our opponent's going to be saying as soon as we queue into Seraphine number 2. He's going to start going, LOL, we got to rage quit out of this guy. All right, well, let's see what we can do here. We actually had a couple of options if opponent didn't just quit. We could have played the Cadrigen here and tried to hook something in. I don't think I'm really amped about it. I'm more interested in just getting this big board going. He doesn't have good blocks on any of this stuff now, and we should have pretty good shutdowns in terms of getting enough width, right? If he was just going to add more cards, we would still be in a good spot to probably attack with the White Flame with the various equipments. But once we're able to get this like fully wide board, I think we could probably survive one more attack and then kill with Dragon's Clutch next turn. Got him. Good stuff. We didn't draw any Arclights, but that's okay. Maybe next one. Maybe next one. Everybody bringing their ephemeral friends today. Lucian and Callista. Sure. Alright, so yeah, see, it's like a reasonable enough early game package. This doesn't have like too much dragon-centric stuff. This is stuff that you could see within, say, like a Pantheon-based deck, but it's quite strong here. These improvises into the White Flames are quite good. Getting the faded targets with the Fury plus the White Flame, excellent way to take advantage of things like Tumble and Cataclysm. All that stuff's pretty fantastic. You can still try and give your Wounded White Flame Overwhelm and then Cataclysm something for the Overwhelm damage. Lots of really powerful things coming out of these bros. Alright, so who are we going for here? The Dragon or the Shepherd? I'm leaning towards the Dragon. The downside here would be as if opponent plays Callista, and so that's probably a little bit too scary. We'll try to hit a Pot of Pain. Didn't find it. The Shepherd's Authorities may be good enough. Gets us up to 5 attack. But we'll just go for the combat reel. If we need to follow up with a single combat, it's fine. And then he's still big enough to kill Callista if she comes down. She can't now, of course, because she's lost a point of health, but keeps him from playing it defensively there, keeps it from leveling up a little bit. There's that Callista flip everybody's looking for. It's okay. We're still good to take her down here. If he, well, I guess if he attacks weird, we're good to take her down. Can't single combat here early. We can like play a Dragon's Clutch. It's just not going to work out how we want. I'm trying to envision the way that we get, like we can't fast single combat here. We're just going to have to accept this. The way I was kind of thinking that is you can get out of having his sapling die, right? We could have single combated away our 2/2 into Callista and then tried to get a better block on her, but we didn't quite have the stats needed to pull that kind of play off. Start hitting her with damage, though. Gonna play the Broadwing, we'll play the Egghead, then we'll think about playing a kind of preemptive single combat. Because the downside with her already flipped, they tend to play a bunch of dumb shit like a Mist's Call, and so if we kill her here, there's a non-zero chance that they'll just get her right back. All right, let's see how this looks, though. We got some big boys out here. We're going to be ready to single combat now. I'd like to kill some of this stuff, right? If he's going to play a Mist Call this turn, I don't want him getting a 100%er onto Callista. I want him having at least a coin flip. Ooh, is this going to be a crumble? You're going to get worked on a crumble, my friend. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, guess he at least gets something out of this, right? He's going to get to take down our big boy, but The Callista's gone is the big thing here. We have a pretty decent board. We have just a ton of stuff to spend our mana on. I think we're in a good spot. Definitely want to get this spider off the board, though. If he wants to play another Blighted Caretaker or a Spirit Leech or something, we want all of his units dead. Yeah, this is just so much like playing Expedition. Playing the Callista Lucian deck, this big collection of dragons and stuff. I miss it, man. I miss it. Let's wait. No real reason to get too involved with this turn. If he plays a Spirit Leech into the Spiderling, I guess that's okay. But not super worried about anything that he's doing here. You want to give me some of that Fury? Nope. Alright, let's just keep the board clear. Again, you know, whatever they have, Glimpse from Beyonds, if they have Spirit Leeches, they want to be killing off their own units. If we get those units off of the board, it takes away a lot of their game plan. So he had the Glimpse from Beyond here. That's fine. I'm still happy with how things are playing out. The draw 2 dragons isn't spectacular here, right? We don't have a ton that we can actually play. The most of them cost 5 mana. We could hit Wounded White Flames, and that would be it. All right, well, let's just spread the love a little bit on this board. We'll still probably play the Dragon's Clutch this turn, but if we need to protect our White Flame Protector with a rando +1/+1, I don't want to just advertise it early.
Don't get in my way.
All right, the 5-coster's turning up. Getting real close to this Aurelion Soul. I didn't really feel confident we'd even be able to play him, but he's here ready to party. All right, let's just let this Lucian stuff happen. Like, a lot can go wrong trying to hook in this Lucian, and so we'll just skip past that part. Now, we do have a lot of potential for lethals with our Overwhelms. Drawing Vayne, she feels like maybe a little bit too slow at this point. Like, I definitely want to add a Screeching Dragon. I guess it doesn't stop us from just playing Tumbles next turn. But I was looking at adding the Screeching, adding the White Flame, and then playing Dragon's Clutch, giving everything Overwhelm, and having a really big attack. If we take that full route, though, we can't play both the Clutch and the Sharp Sight. I think it's okay. All right, let's put the dragons out to the left. I'm not worried about him flipping Lucian on this turn. He just doesn't have enough dudes. And if he gets too clever out here to the left, then we'll just lethal him. Well, something like that. Rip it. All right. GG, my dude. Should have played it a little bit slower. We should have played towards the Tumble Aurelion Soul. Just wait one more turn. Get that Tumble in hand and Aurelion Soul on board. Send him on in. Send her on in, I guess. Oh, shit. A double dose of the dragons. Nice. Let's see. Got that sweet little early game start again. We are not playing Dragon Chows. Not super interested in this thing. Tried it out. That was one of the first cards we put in the deck, but it was like, meh. Eh. That's how I typically feel about this. Now, I think if you're playing Shadow Isles, it's a little bit more interesting. Since you're trying to play those cheap dudes that come down and strike, like the 2-cost dragon that comes down and immediately strikes, but I don't think I'm really amped about Dragon Chows otherwise. Alright, dude tried to get us. Ultimately wasn't successful. What do we got? The Scout Rake is quite interesting with the Shyvana in our hand. It's like my only concern here is if we want to add Shyvana next turn, we don't have any mana for combat tricks. Like, you know, we don't have a combat trick anyways, but our opponent doesn't know that. And so when we just like run out the Shyvana and have her like set up for taking damage, it's a little scary to me. He's definitely got the advantage on this board.
I serve my people with pride.
Might be able to, like, what I'm kind of thinking is next turn if we play the Broadwing and then follow up with the Shepherd, then we'd have the potential to hook in Shyvana. But I mean, we don't have enough damage in that kind of play. We just have to eat this. I wonder if we should have taken just the big equipment, the can't block equipment, just to have the stats. Because we definitely can't handle these stats we're up against now. We'll concede to Concerted Strike. Yeah. Okay. GG. Too much tempo for one to handle. Unacceptable. I know. We even had the skins. Dude didn't even have the skins come out here just beating us right up. Ugh. God, maybe pay to win isn't how it works. All right, what do we got with this one? Vayne and an Egghead. That's okay. I definitely want to keep the interactivity in the single combat. A lot of times you need to just come down and boom on their little faded unit. It's pretty tempting now that we have the White Flame just to pass. Let's see what he does. We're not getting great attacks this turn, right? The Broadwing attack isn't that special. Alright, what'd you get? 4 attack with the quick attack? Okay, we'll just take it.
Those who kill innocents are no more than fiends. I'm armed. Am I armed?
He seemed like really interested in playing a trick here. I think he's going to have a single combat coming into us, or at least has one in hand. Shyvana now. Can save that for a turn. I do want to get the Broadwing going this round. We don't need to attack with Vayne. We're, of course, not attacking with these Eggheads, but need to have a little bit of attack power on this board. A little bit of control. What is that? Panapane? People are getting way more stats than we're able to get today. It's bonkers. We have all these good combat tricks like Dragon's Clutch. Sure. There we go. There's a unit ready for combat. 9 feels like a little bit too much to just be taking. I feel like we can still throw the unit in front of this, whittle it down a little bit, add the Shyvana this turn, and then maybe we'll get something happening on the next one.
Dragon blood, Demacian heart.
All right, now Shyvana's ready. Probably want the defensive here in the Pan of Pain. It's always really tempting to pick the Overwhelm when we're playing this Tumble deck, but if we're about to throw Shyvana into combat multiple times, we're going to need to prevent some of that damage.
Soup's on your head.
Is that it? Into combat? Give us the stats. Here come the shenanigans. Flash freeze. Interesting way to go about it. And a bastion. Oh, okay. I was expecting more from you, Shyvana. I guess you did just get like 100 cards out of their hand, though.
The more we learn, the less we fear.
All right, more tumbles. That's what we were just waiting on, right? We just need Vayne to generate some more tumbles, and we'll be good. And he's already targeted it. It should be fairly tough for him to have another trick. I guess he can. He's playing Pantheon, but seems like this should be pretty safe most of the time. And then if we need to, we can like single combat away at Shyvana or something just to ensure that this combat wins. Right, it has Fury, so it's not like we're just dealing a ton of damage off of our Wandering Shepherds in the back line. It's only got 1 mana now. Oh shit, we're out of mana as well. Oops. Still seems okay. This actually seems quite good. What's he realistically going to do with 1 mana?
Come and get it. How bothersome.
Well, if we're just throwing stuff away, we might as well block with the 2-power guy, right? I think that makes sense. All right, we're getting close. We're getting close to the magic, right? There we go. We'll just drop Aurelion Soul. That's how we're finally gonna get there.
We have an answer.
We just need like 3 or 4 tumbles in hand and Aurelion Soul. Well, he didn't have Ornn. That was a bonus. And then we need 3 power to flip Shyvana. So a single combat off of the Wounded White Flame would be enough to get Shyvana to flip. I think that's kind of where we're at this point. Maybe not. I mean, let's be real. Let's just drop Aurelion Soul and and get things happening. We can still do this. Get the Vayne to flip. And then we're just going to make a bunch of tumbles with Aurelion Soul next turn. Nothing could go wrong. Oh, this is going to be choice. It's too bad we don't get a free tumble out of this. I'd really like to have 3 for next turn. It's not asking for too much, I don't think. Oh shit, we don't even have 10 mana this round? God, what a dumb game. I'm the worst at counting mana. It's okay. If we can get Cadridgen down and then Aurelion Soul, I feel like we'll still accomplish the same thing. There you go. Give me some of them stats. How bad is this stuff? Shyvana really die here? I mean, she at least flips. I guess it's not that big of a deal to lose Shyvana. We're just going to be dropping Aurelion Soul, right? I mean, we could just take the 6. Did we ever get... If he's going to bring a lethal on us, then we still have like a single combat to attack the Mountain Goat with? He shouldn't have ways to give overwhelms to his units here on the left. Okay. Sure. All right. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? It's about to happen. This is going to be sweet. I guess it's not going to be as sweet as I want because Aurelion Soul is just going to come in and fucking die. But this should be sweet. It should be. And we got this great beyond for the elusive lethals. I wish. All right, Aurelion, get in there. That wasn't a 7/7. How much power we got here? Are we up to 20? We do have enough to just go in, but I think this is what it's all about. When are we ever going to have the opportunity to play all these tumbles again? Get him.
Too much salt.
Man, Aurelion Soul with 7 health does not feel good. The thing I was thinking about as we were just out here memeing around with this, we could have we could have looked to single combat down his smaller unit over here, but now it's like now that we've done all this, I'm looking to just single combat as Harazi and then hit it with a Condemn. Right? We play the single combat. It just gets spell shielded. We don't lose our unit, and then we can follow up with the Condemn. And we do still have some like reasonable attacks this turn with Shyvana, right? She has tough. She'll go up to 7 health once she attacks here. Lots of good things there. All right, Harazi down. Your turn, Shyvana. Beautiful. That's the one we wanted to see go. Now we can switch it back to attacking with Aurelion Soul. Oh. Look at that. Oh man, I didn't even notice the Pan of Pain play. Oh, sick. Sick. Still gonna make sure we get the flips next turn. Oh, that's pretty choice. That's pretty choice right there. Okay. Okay, game. Did we do it? Nice. Now it's like we're doing the good stuff. See if we can't get a Targon's Peak out here. Orn.
This is what good looks like.
Feh.
I made this hammer. It was so good I named it Hammer.
How big are you? 8'6"? That's embarrassingly small, Orn. Embarrassingly. I think we're good. Inner Beast, not enough. Inner Beast. Enough to kill Aurelion's soul, but lose the game. Alright. Now, the appropriate way to do this is just with the Trickster, right? We're going to get the Trickster down. We're going to sneak him in. He's going to tumble. He looks like this isn't his first tumble. It's not his first one. Yeah, give it a Pan of Pain. Why not? Boom. Now that's the kind of 15-minute game I can get behind. Not this bullshit with Seraphine, where I'm just sitting here for 8 of the 10 minutes waiting on you to pick a manifest. Now, ultimately, that was like my large problem with concurrent timelines as well, right? You play the concurrent timelines and you play Reggie and you manifest twice. You play concurrent timelines and then you play a improvised unit. You got to manifest twice. Shit just takes forever, and it's without like a chess clock. It feels really horrible about having to sit around and just wait on all that stuff. All right, up against the lurkers. They didn't have a 1-drop. That's always good. See if we can keep them from leveling up. Uh-oh. I did the mathematics on if this was a good lurkers draw. Came back not. This is not a good lurkers draw.
One yordle portal and suddenly geography means nothing.
Uh-oh. At least he hit something, I guess. What do we got? Shyvana's ready to party now. Okay. It's unfortunate if he gets up to 4 attack, then the Shyvana doesn't really do anything. Let's at least make sure we have the mana to play Sharp Sights, or if we go into next turn, we can Dragon Clutch. But right now, if he attacks with the Zersai Collar and we get a Sharp Sight into it, should be in a pretty decent spot. We're in a pretty decent spot either way, but... You got boomed. You got meatballed, bro. It's one of my favorite skits on The Office when they decide that Stanley and what's his name? Stanley and Dwight should join forces against all of the pranks from Jim. Stanley's favorite form of humor turns out is meatballs. And then they just prank Jim into making him a bunch of meatballs. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Like this game. Beautiful. You got meatballed. It's worth a Google search. All right, victory for Bust. On to the next one. Good job, Arclight Dragons. I wonder if Riot's hurting for money. Even though Wizards of the Coast has progressively made more and more money every year for probably the past 20 years. They always run into that space to where somebody's like, not going to hit my bonus this quarter. We gotta figure out a way to generate some more revenue. And then that guy always comes in. He says, "I know the answer. I have the answer for every time. How do we generate more revenue? We print dragons." And so you just have to decide: do we need little revenue or big? If we just need little, we'll make like a dual deck or a commander deck or something that has dragons in it. If we need big money, then we'll just print a whole set centered on dragons. It works every time. It never fails. All right, up against Jack's Vayne. So what we can do here. Everybody's got Vaynes, are of course better though. We got the Arclights. He's playing the standard skin. Embarrassing. It's pretty tempting just to take this. I'm not super worried about this unit, and I don't want him like tumbling that Shepherd's Authority out onto his other dudes. So let's just let that hang out for a bit. If we get 2 attacks this turn, we can condemn down his Vayne. We just don't have like a good collection of units to go for that. Let's go for Shyvana, and then we'll see if we can't piece together either a good one 2 turns from now, or I mean even next turn we can Cataclysm, Tumble, and Condemn all at once. And so we'll see. We'll have some opportunities. I don't think this is a spot where we want to just pass though, right? He's got a ton of mana built up here. We can probably get him involved in this board somehow, even if it's just throwing away the Broadwing. I don't know. This feels kind of suspect. What would his combat trick be? Sharp Sight? Right? If we want to say, maybe we just do this. If he has like a catch, that would be fine. I think this is okay. We'll just leave his Vayne on the board. I don't think we need to be too aggressive here. We're building up quite nicely, and if our Shyvana makes it through the next turn without taking damage, it gives her, more opportunities for these double attacks next round.
I suppose the lamp is meant to appear disarming.
Dunno. Crossbow meant to keep people at a distance?
And the dog. Sure. I felt pretty good about these Shyvana attacks until the combat cook came down.
Glad there's a chef on the team now. What's for dinner? Oh,
Let's see, 4-5.
stew in our last battle. Oops.
Okay. I mean, we're definitely safe now, though, right? I mean, he could have a 1-mana combat trick. He could do +1/+1 on this board. We should know, like, pretty well what we're getting ourselves into on this combat. I'm gonna say, then if we get the flipped Shyvana, things are gonna start to look real nice.
I smell fear.
So let's just not die, right? Some of these blocks aren't the greatest, but if we just get to roll into next turn with the flipped Shyvana and without taking any damage, I feel like we're going to be able to just blow up here.
Who's next? Bring it on!
Ain't nobody scared of your tumbles, bro. Yeah, so it's pretty tempting to just send that Shyvana in now, but I think we should wait till next turn. No overwhelms are the sad thing. Oh, he is bringing it. Wow. He's gonna like tumble Jacks? Tumble Vayne. Oh, he does have the equipment in his hand now, though.
Say your prayers.
Okay.
I'm not done.
Okay. Enjoy the blocks.
Need a weapon?
Like you needed to be bigger. Why don't all of our units just have quick attack? That would make everything easier. Alright, I didn't see what version he did. Yeah, he strike then unequip. I don't know if this gets countered or if he still unequips. It's countered.
Monsters still lurk in Demasia's every shadow.
Alright. It's not as big as powerful as I was hoping, but
Old faithful.
close enough. Close enough. So now we have all these cataclysms we can try to send into Jax. The downside with Jax now is, like, if he gets to attack multiple times, he's just going to keep growing, right? So I think we just need to cataclysm now. Doesn't seem like he really had a combat trick, and so let's see if we can't just take him down before he's allowed to come and strike at us. And then we can try and set up for our lethal next turn.
We were forged in dragon fire.
So he's got one tumble at this point. So we probably just have to worry about taking like 5 or 6 damage from it. Okay.
Anyone seen any sheep around here?
Finally, the quick attack.
Come and get it!
Hey, stop that.
Oh, this sucks. We don't have the stats to kill these things. Looks like we'll just end up taking 10 on the turn, though.
Let them through!
Oh, he doesn't have the mana to tumble. Okay, this is fine. Now we got this Screeching Dragon ready for action. Is it better than Shyvana? I mean, she's big at this point. The thing with adding Shyvana is it lets us also attack with the Petricite Broadwing. So I think that's okay. Right, we're going to put the quick attack on Shyvana, and then we can start to tumble her in. Because if we play the 5-cost dragon, it is nice to get the quick attack challenges out of the Screeching, but that's not letting us put 2 units on the board. Alright, he's out of cards now. He's got 2 equipments along with the tumble. Sounds pretty good to me.
I'll eat what everyone else eats.
Are we there? Are we going to do it? Thinking big. Does he say, I want to get a couple points of damage in? He's got that one good tumble with his combat cook. I think it's a Shepherd's Authority. Okay. Should we ever save the tumble for next turn? I don't think so. I think we're good. Right. He's gonna lose his Reaper of the Sands and then, oh no, we're not gonna lethal him here. Yeah, we are. Okay, he has to block. It's like he has to block with his Wolf Dog, right? The other two can't. And then he'll lose the Reaper if he wants to open on us. Then we're good at that point. Okay. It's even kind of a weird spot for him, and if he wants to open attack, like we're just good, so he needs to add another unit to the board, and that gives us a chance to just tumble, and then he has to block with whatever his other unit is. All right, he's got a blocker now. But it's so painful for him as we attack with Shyvana and get the strafing strike in hand. It's like we get to kind of 2-for-1 him right from the get-go. So he has to block the Shyvana, and then we have the combat trick in hand to stop him from being wider than us. Good stuff. That thing's fucking scary, though. So it's like he can block, and the equipment will fall off. Oh no, does he just kill our Shyvana? Okay, he didn't block her, but I think it would have, right? We would have, like, broken the equipment. I don't know if that cancels Fury. I think it probably does. What a perfect answer for everything we're doing. Brutal.
Dragons, such fascinating creatures.
I mean, we're still okay. We're not dead. That's the that's the most important part of any game, right? Oh no, he's got overwhelmed. Fuck. I wonder if there was a way around this one. Damn. I thought we had that one for sure. Damn. Ooh, good game, dude. That's close. All right, well, we're almost at the hour mark. We'll get one more battle in. If we queue into Seraphine, I'm just going to concede it, though. We're, like, right at the hour mark. I don't want this going to be, like, an hour and a half. And so if it's Seraphine, we'll call it a day. All right, well, there you have it. We're just going to go ahead and end it with that one. Let me see if we can get out of here. Good job. That was loads of fun. And so, you know, not the best deck, not the worst in the world. I like a lot of the concepts in this. It does struggle in the current meta. If you're taking this up on the ladder, it's just if you're playing against Disintegrate-based removal that you see from a lot of Seraphine, that's really good against our kind of on-curve type strategy. And then the decks like Rumble Vayne and Gwen Vayne tend to just be too fast for you. But as you can see, they're playing through the normals. It has some game to it. It has a lot of strength to some of these units. It's just not a ideal place in the meta for this kind of deck right now. But, you know, there's no arguing with dragons. There's nothing to say that dragons aren't the best thing in the world, because I looked it up in the encyclopedia, and it said that they are. And so, you know, if you're out here wanting to battle with dragons, this is certainly a closer to the competitive end of the spectrum type of thing that you could be doing. And so, not a bad set of games. I had fun with that. I hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. And so I hope everybody enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the dragons just a little bit. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.